The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Good morning, gamers. Welcome back to another episode here on the channel. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today because it feels like it's the end of an era and I want to celebrate it with one of these videos. So I'm about 1 month away from moving and I'm going to have to downsize a lot, not only of my own personal collection, but a lot of my inventory. And there's one piece that I've been actually collecting here on the channel. If you haven't been paying attention, back in the early days of JSS, we did a lot of PSP shorts where I would collect PSP games, show you how much they're worth, kind of like try to build a collection of PSP games. And I feel like now is the perfect time to call it, to end it, to get rid of it and start something new. Or, well, maybe not yet. Let me move in first before I start something like a whole new collection. But I think it is an end of the era for the PSP content. So just as a little celebration tool and just something I can also remember this by in like a couple years when I forget what I actually had in this collection, what I was able to find over the last year. We're going to be going through some of the games, and at the end of this video I'm going to tell you guys how you can get these games that are in the collection. Yes, so that was a social cue and a hint for you guys to stay around until the end of the video. So like watch through, or if you really don't care at any point, just skip to the end if I start losing you halfway through. I'm pretty sure the algorithm likes me anyway, as long as you guys get to the final minute mark, so do what you gotta do. As you guys can see over here, we have all of the games lined up from least expensive to most expensive. We're gonna go through them, not necessarily one by one, because that's gonna be a lot of editing for me to do, but I just wanna show it off because I think it's really cool. Firstly, you can't have a PSP without getting some PSP movies, and these are the two that I have still in the collection. We had Steam Boy that I picked up at a pawn shop for $1, and Rent, which is an actual really good movie that I love. So I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna get Rent. I think this was also $1 at that same pawn shop. Then we have the sports games that I've picked up throughout my time here. This one I actually bought to play for myself. When I first got the PSP, I was looking for games to just play around with. And so I grabbed NBA 09 The Inside. I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. I love the way they dribble up and down the court. Sue me, you know? I got these two games for about $5 each. This is Buzz the Master Quiz and Hot Shot Tennis. I got both of these sealed, and I had to open them because I was trying to fix my PSP when I first bought it. It had some issues with reading discs. So I was like, let's just open these. And honestly, these aren't even more valuable sealed than they are complete in box. So I'm cool with getting rid of the sealed value of them. I grabbed Invisimals, which if you have never heard of it before, it actually requires the PSP camera to play. So of course when I picked this up and realized that, popped it in, I had instant regret because I don't even have a PSP camera. And I honestly just didn't have the time to find it. The final in the low dollar categories was Little Big Planet and Mod Nation Racers. I just figured Little Big Planet is an absolute staple in any PlayStation collection, and Mod Nation Racers I remember the advertising for like really well, and I really wanted to get a PS3 so I could get Mod Nation Racers, and if that doesn't show you kid brain, I don't know what will. Okay, so now we're in the middle tier, so this is anything double digits like 10 to 20 bucks. Starting off with the game that I personally picked up myself, Rock Band Unplugged for $15. I love Rock Band. It's one of my favorite things. I've talked about it on the channel a few times. I love the Rock Band games and just like the party aspect that it brings to me and my friends. So I wanted to get Rock Band Unplugged. If you've ever played, again, another deep cut. If you've ever played Lego Rock Band for the Nintendo DS, it's basically just like that. Instead of playing with the actual controller, you just hit the buttons. And it had a pretty decent soundtrack, so I had fun time with it. Star Wars Battlefront 2, an absolute classic. I had to get it in the collection. I have 2 copies of Ape Escape on the loose. One of these I picked up because the biochemist actually suggested that I play this game, and I played about the first couple hours of it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun game, and then I ended up getting another copy in another lot somewhere. We have a sealed copy of Siphon Filter, Logan's Shadows. I got this one from a Retro Game Treasures box. We also picked up, which one? Let's do all 3 of these together. Toy Story 3, Pursuit Force, Extreme Justice, and Need for Speed Carbon. And now we're into the bigger dollar titles. Everything here is worth more than 20 bucks. So I love me some Crazy Taxi, so I had to get the PSP version to try it out. Got about a few plays with it, just because it was a pretty busy time in my life. So I didn't really get to play it as much as I wish that I could have. Another one I'm sad to see go was Twisted Metal Head On. I remember doing this in an Instagram poll. You guys told me to keep this. Actually, you guys told me not to keep this one, but I already found the case for it, so I kept it anyways. And this is another fun one. I love the Twisted Metal series. Another fun one. I never really got to dive into this one as much as I wish I could have. The Medieval Resurrection, a classic Sony exclusive. I heard it's a really good game, just never really got around to it. Time for the two moneymakers here. We have Mortal Kombat Unchained, which I grabbed for probably, I've got the case for $4, I got the game for $6. Now it's worth 30. It went up like a crazy amount of money for some reason since last year when I got it. So I'm very happy with the return on Mortal Kombat Unchained. And finally, probably one of the coolest ones that I grabbed in the collection, Chili Con Carnage, which if you don't remember, I made an entire YouTube short about. It's super fun game. I love it. I think this is actually the European version upon further release because it's got the PEGI 16 rating on it. Thankfully, the PSPs aren't region locked, so it was very easy to play this game and keep it as is. And now we get to go through a speed run of all the loose ones, but I'm only going to do the good ones because there's a lot of stinkers in this pile. We have Star Wars Renegade Squadron. We have Pangea, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Fantasy Golf. We got Lego Star Wars 2. Star Wars The Force Unleashed, 3 loose Star Wars games. So I think this could be an easy bundle right here, folks. We got Flat Out. And the last game I picked up for this collection was the Atari Classics Evolved. Overall, we have 38 games, movies in total, both complete in box, missing books, and loose discs. And remember at the beginning of the video when I said you too can buy any of the games in this collection over here? Well, that's because I'm going to be getting rid of every single game back here on Whatnot. Now, if you've been living under a rock in the video game scene, let me tell you a bit about Whatnot. And I'm not sponsored, by the way. Please don't take this as a sponsorship. Basically, it is a online auction live streaming site where we can sell these games one by one to different users. And for new users who sign up, you get a free $10 if you use my link in the description below. Which means that if you've never used Whatnot before, you can basically get a game for free. I get the money and Whatnot covers the bill, and that's pretty awesome. That's like a win-win for everybody. So the date of the live stream is this Monday, August 21st. 2023, and I really hope to see some of you there because I think somebody's gonna get some really good deals on these games, and I'm excited to see who. We've had a lot of games filter in and out over the last year, and especially some pretty expensive ones too. But I'm very happy with what we were able to do. It seems like it's kind of a reflection on my personal taste as well as like, well, what is a good PSP game? So I think it's a nice little combination of that, and I'm hoping you guys really do enjoy these games if you choose to buy them over on Whatnot next Monday. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.